Hello. Today is Monday, August 10th, 2026. Here is your daily signal. According to Fortune, the U.S. job market posted a surprise shortfall in July with 23,000 fewer jobs than expected, while revisions to May and June also showed weaker growth. After considerable post-pandemic recovery, the pace of job creation and participation rates began to slow in the mid-2020s, reflecting demographic changes and ongoing economic uncertainty. The labor force participation rate dipped to 62.4% in July 2026, the lowest in recent years, based on the latest BLS release, which may signal structural weaknesses. The U.S. Department of Labor reported non-farm payrolls rose by 187,000 in July, sharply missing forecasts, and Federal Reserve officials highlighted these softer numbers in their August monetary policy statement, suggesting possible impacts on interest rate decisions. If this downward trend continues, it could trigger calls for new fiscal stimulus or targeted employment programs, slow macroeconomic growth, and spark political debate ahead of the 2026 midterms. The risk of a higher federal deficit is rising, and the Federal Reserve may adjust its interest rate strategy if labor weakness persists. Next, let's turn to developments in Ukraine and Russia's logistics sector. Business Insider reports Ukraine has intensified its drone strikes, recently damaging the warehouses of Wildberries, Russia's largest online retailer, as part of a campaign targeting critical logistics infrastructure. Since early 2024, Ukraine has increased its use of long-range drones against Russian transport hubs, railway lines, and oil depots, aiming to disrupt supply chains and destabilize the Russian economy. On August 10, Ukrainian drones struck a major logistics hub in Belgorod and temporarily halted freight operations in Kursk, causing shipment delays for major e-commerce firms. The Ukrainian armed forces are leading these attacks with domestically developed UAVs, directly exposing Russian logistics companies like Russian Railways and SEDEC, and e-commerce platforms including Wildberries and Ozon, to operational disruption. Near-term, persistent drone strikes may lead to delays and higher costs for Russian e-commerce, as disrupted supply lines force companies to reroute corridors and adopt counter-drone measures. Medium-term consequences could include eroded consumer confidence, reduced order volumes, and further international sanctions or restrictions on drone technology transfers. Infrastructure attacks may slow recovery and increase risks for Russia's e-commerce sector. Let's now shift focus to the environmental impact of Amazon's new Texas data center. TechCrunch highlights that Amazon's planned Texas data center with its dedicated on-site power plant could become the largest U.S. climate polluter once operational. Amazon has proposed using natural gas combined cycle technology to improve power reliability and efficiency for the Dallas facility, and is following strict environmental impact assessment (EIA) rules mandated by Texas state law. Amazon Web Services (AWS) oversees development, while the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality (TSEC) is reviewing the EIA, and local advocacy groups like TEDGES and the City of Dallas handle zoning and public engagement. On August 10, the Dallas News confirmed Amazon submitted its final EIA for public review, detailing emissions and water use. According to Energy Monitor, the plant will operate at 200 MW capacity, with expected CO2 emissions below federal limits, and Texas Tribune notes a public hearing is scheduled for August 22. The project is likely to generate over 200 construction jobs and boost regional economic activity, while improving grid stability in eastern Dallas. Environmental advocates warn of potential air quality impacts, and community concerns could delay permitting depending on the hearing's outcome. The facility may set a precedent for on-site power generation by private tech companies, influencing future state regulations. Now, onto the markets. International equities saw mixed performance today. Germany and France moved up modestly, with EWG and EWQ both advancing about 6% month-over-month, while Spain lagged behind with EWP down nearly 0.4% day-over-day. EWN Netherlands recorded the largest day-over-day drop at nearly 0.7%. China large cap was the strongest major region, with FXI surging almost 9% month-on-month and leading global gainers. Commodities rallied significantly, highlighted by U.S. oil USO jumping over 6% day-over-day, while silver SLV soared nearly 14% month-over-month, making it the top gainer among metals. In agriculture, DBA edged up modestly and corn traded flat. Favorites were mixed. Microsoft MSFT climbed about 1.2% on strong momentum. Adobe ADB rose over 2.9% day over day, while AMD and NVIDIA NVDA both slumped nearly 3% day over day. Oracle advanced almost 2.7% month to month. Sectors showed steady progress, with SP 500 SPY essentially flat day over day but up 3% month over month. Healthcare Roman 45 led sector gains, up over 1.6% day over day. Finance XLF and Agriculture MOO posted minor positive moves, while Real Estate XLRE, RWR remained the top sector laggard with declines over 1%. Among notable individual stocks, FOS jumped more than 13 points, Socket Mobile SCKT skyrocketed over 300%, and Ciena Therapeutics Sion plummeted 91% to lead major decliners. That's it for today. You can find more news and details on our website. Goodbye.